Thank you so much to BetterHelp for sponsoring today's video. I am in the world's squeakiest chair right now, so if you hear any squeaking, that's what that is. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Thanks so much for being here today. I am so excited for today's video because it's just a good old-fashioned book haul, but I have my window open, so you might even hear some birds chirping while we explore some new books. I don't know why I needed to call attention to the birds, but that is what's going on now. I've got some books that I bought over a month and a half ago, 2 months ago, because I'm not buying books right now. I've got some school books, I've got some books from publishers, I've got books from friends, so I'm very excited to share them with you. They're all over the place with genres and nonfiction and things. So we're just gonna jump right in, and I'm really excited about it. So, I'm just gonna pick the first book off the top, which is Maybe One Day. It is this cute little green book, and from my understanding, the book is about a woman who fell in love, had a child, and then is abandoned by her love. I don't know if they're married at this point, but she's abandoned, and she thinks he just disappears for 17 years. But then she goes up into her parents' attic and finds books of letters that he had sent her. So she goes and tries to track down all of the postage stamps to try to find her long-lost love and figure out what happened. So I bought this on a whim a couple months ago, and I thought it looked super good, and I'm excited to eventually read it. I'm in a romance addiction right now. It is like, I can't do anything but read romances at this point in time, so I'm really excited to get to this very soon, and I think that the cover is just so cute. Next up, we had a book I never knew I needed, and that is The Book of Hope by Jane Goodall and Douglas Abrams. And it is a survival guide for trying times. Who else grew up watching Jane Goodall in their 7th grade science class? Just me? Well, I know it wasn't just me because I was in class with other people. Anyway, so this just looks fun. I mean, it gives me the ultimate nostalgia because it's Jane Goodall, and so I'm excited. It feels like, just from my first impressions, it feels like it was written during the last year and a half, because it says for trying times, like when we're all stuck inside. And so I'm hoping this is great. I do want to thank Celadon Reads for sending this to me. I love Celadon Reads, and I'm just so thankful that they send me any books. So, woo! The next book was a gift from my very dear friend Jess. She sent me a couple books, which you'll see in this haul, that have to do with water, because in June and July, I was in like I must read any book with water. And so she bought me this book that was already on my radar. I just hadn't picked it up yet, so it was such a good, exciting thing to see in the mail, and that is Open Water. Have you seen this everywhere? I hope so, because I've been seeing it everywhere, and it just seems short and straight to the point and just like it's gonna be incredible. So it says, 2 young people meet at a pub in southeast London. Both are Black, British, both won scholarships to private schools where they struggled to belong. Both are now artists, he a photographer, she a dancer, trying to make their mark in a city that by turns celebrates and rejects them. Tentatively, tenderly, they fall in love, but 2 people who seem destined to be together can still be torn apart by fear and violence. So if you've read this, and if you've read any of the books on this list, please let me know what you thought. I feel like I'm seeing it everywhere for a great reason, and that's probably because the writing's gonna be gorgeous, so I can't wait to get to it. And thank you so much to Jess for sending it to me. All right, next up, I'm torn on if I showed this in a vlog. So if I showed this in a vlog, I'm sorry for showing it again, but again, I was on a real water theme kick, and so I bought this book called The Rocks. Take a gander. I love the cover because it is literally water on the cover, but it says 2 families, 4 lovers, 1 seaside resort community, and a 60-year secret. So it says, set against dramatic Mediterranean sea views and lush olive groves, The Rocks opens with a confrontation and a secret. What mysterious, catastrophic catastrophic event drove honeymooners Gerald and Lulu apart so suddenly and absolutely in 1948 that they never spoke again despite living on the same island for 60 more years. Hi! The setting sounds gorgeous. The betrayal or the mystery of what happened between these two is incredible. And the fact that they lived on a small island together for 60 years. We have to wonder, are there moments in this book that explore when they've run into each other on the island, or have they truly been able to avoid each other for 60 years? I think not. So, it says, how did their history shape the Romeo and Juliet-like romance of their unrelated children decades later? Oh my lord! Not only does it have water on the front, but clearly I had picked up a prized gem of a storyline. So that is super exciting, and I can't wait to get to it. Okay, this next book is a book that, dear heavens, the cover is just incredible. And it's called Trick Mirror. Check it out. It looks like a card. Look at that. Incredible. The pink and the yellow text. Oh, heavenly days. From what I understand, it is a collection of essays that reflect on the world. And I believe one of the essays focuses on, cultural prism, the rise of the nightmare social internet, the advent of scamming as the definitive millennial ethos, the literary heroine's journey from brave to blank to bitter, the punitive dream of optimization, which insists that everything, including our bodies, should become more efficient and beautiful until we die. Oh my god. Wow, I know that I've really been enjoying short story collections lately, but I haven't been reading enough essay collections, and so I'm really, really excited to get to this. I know I said this already, but if you've read this one, please let me know what you thought, but also what was your favorite essay, because this looks incredible, and I think I've already found an audiobook for it on Libby, so that is very exciting. All right, the next two books have to do with mental health, which you all know I've been focusing a lot of my time on over the last couple months, which brings us also to our sponsor, which is BetterHelp, H-E-L-P, BetterHelp. So BetterHelp is an online platform that helps you connect to an online counselor, right? That helps you get the mental health resources you need without needing to go in person anywhere, which I think is really valuable. And you can do that either through video chats or phone calls, or you can do it just through messaging. If that's a better way for you to communicate with a therapist or a counselor, that is an excellent way to do that. And so what you do is you go on BetterHelp and you start filling out some questions on a questionnaire that just tells you who you are, just the basics of who you are, and then starts to help you address what you need help with in your mental health sphere. So it asks you about anxiety, depression, how you sleep at night, all of those things, and then it will connect you with the best counselor that fits your needs. And they have over 15,000 counselors within their BetterHelp system. It's also far less expensive than in-person or traditional therapy, and financial aid is available. So visit betterhelp.com/Noelle, that's BetterHelp, H-E-L-P, and join over 1 million people taking charge of their mental health with the help of an experienced professional. So thank you so much to BetterHelp, and now let's talk about these two books. The first one is It Didn't Start With You, How Inherited Family Trauma Shapes Who We Are and How to End the Cycle. What I love is how this is broken up into different parts and chapters. So part 1 is the web of family trauma. Then we have part 2, the core language map. And then we have pathways to reconnection. And so not only I feel like does it help you understand just trauma and how to deal with it, but it also helps you actually put it into action, which I think is awesome. So I've been seeing this all over the place. And I said, yeah, you're coming home with me. Thanks. Sure. I'll take you right now. So, wow. That sounded weird. I don't know, it sounds great and I'm excited to get to it. And then I just got this other book, which the reason why I lump this into mental health is because I struggle with this thing because of mental health. Does that make sense? Great. Okay, so Celadon Reader sent this to me as well, so thank you, Celadon. And that is, You're Not Listening, What You're Missing and Why It Matters. I have a really hard time focusing, especially when I'm feeling extremely anxious on any particular day. And so when I'm having conversations with my loved ones, I know that I know how to talk to them. I know how to console them. I know how to comfort them. I know how to give them advice. I also know what questions to ask. I feel like I'm a really good participant in conversations, but oftentimes if I'm having a particularly anxious day, it's really hard for me to stay focused in conversation and really grasp what's going on. And I just feel like this book will help. So let me look at the table of contents. The Lost Art of Listening, that sinking feeling, S-Y-N-C, sinking feeling. Listening to your curiosity. I know what you're going to say. Assumptions as earplugs. Listening to yourself. Addicted to distraction. I mean, there's just a lot that can go on with listening and being more intentional in conversation, it seems. So this is really exciting, and I think it's gonna be great. Oh my God, and the cover is an ear. Are you seeing it? It's an ear, my friends. That's amazing. That's intention. I got another book from HarperCollins, and I have not heard of this book, and I'm intrigued, to say the least. And that is Bombshell, Hell's Bells, Book 1. Oh my God, you guys need to see the back of this. Beautiful! Are you kidding me? Let me read just a quick snippet. After years of living as London's brightest scandal, Lady Cecily Talbot has embraced the reputation and the freedom that comes with the title. No one looks twice when she lures a gentleman into the dark gardens beyond a Mayfair ballroom, and no one realizes those trysts are not what they seem. What? No one, that is, but Caleb Calhoun, who has spent years trying not to notice his best friend's beautiful, brash, brilliant sister. Oh my God! If you ask him, he's been a saint about it, considering the way she looks at him, and the way she talks to him, and the way she felt in his arms during their one ill-advised kiss. Oh my God, I feel like I'm blushing. Except someone has to keep Cecily, from tumbling into trouble during her dangerous late-night escapades, and maybe close proximity is exactly what Caleb needs to get this infuriating, outrageous woman out of his system. But now Caleb is the man in trouble, because Cecily isn't for forgetting. She's forever, and forever is something he cannot risk. Wait, is something he can risk. Okay. That sounds fun. I'm excited for it. Speaking of my friend Jess, we have 2 more that I got from her, and I'm very excited. The first one is My Policeman, and I hear there's a movie being made about this. How do I know? Well, it says it literally right there on the cover, Noelle. But it says, it is in the 1950s Brighton that Marion, first catches sight of Tom. He teaches her to swim in the shadow of the pier, and Marion is smitten, determined her love will be enough for them both. A few years later in Brighton Museum, Patrick meets Tom. Patrick is besotted with Tom and opens his eyes to a glamorous, sophisticated new world. Tom is their policeman, and in the age, it is safer for him to marry Marion. The 2 lovers must share him until one of them breaks and 3 lives are destroyed. Okay, sounds like it's gonna break my heart. Excellent. I can't wait for it, to be honest. Truly. All right, the next book from Jess is Just Last Night, and here's what's cool. This came in the mail from Jess that afternoon, the afternoon after I had thought about using a credit to get the audiobook, and I was looking at it and I was like, should I? Okay, I'll wait on it. And then this came in the mail, which I thought was awesome. So it says, Eve, Justin, Susie, and Ed have been friends since they were teenagers. Now in their 30s, the 4 are as close as ever. Thursday night bar trivia is sacred, and Eve is still secretly in love with Ed. Maybe she should have moved on by now, but she can't stop thinking about what could have been, and she knows Ed still thinks about that too. But then, in an instant, their lives are changed forever. In the aftermath, Eve's world is upended. As stunning secrets are revealed, she begins to wonder if she really knew her friends as well as she thought. And when someone from the past comes back into her life, Eve's future veers in a surprising new direction. Yes, ma'am, I will be reading this. Thanks so much. we got another romance, and dear heaven, is it a spectacular cover. And that is Meet Me in Paradise, my friends. Take a gander. Holy smokes. Maureen Cole has never seen the ocean, or climbed a mountain, or taken a risk on love. But if her sister's plans work, she might just do all three. Isn't that always the way? I actually already read the synopsis for this, and I'm pretty sure there's the woman named Maureen, who is like our main lady, and she has a wild child younger sister, Sadie, who's trotted the globe as a photographer. And Maureen goes with her sister on a vacation, and this guy is sitting in her sister's seat on the plane, and so they're stuck together during the flight. Flirtation may ensue. I don't know. I actually don't know if it's like strangers to lovers or if it's more like strangers to enemies to lovers. Because is it like, hey, you stole my sister's seat, now you're annoying, and then eventually they like each other. I don't know what it is, and I'll tell you once I read it. Oh my god. These next two books are some of the coolest covers in this haul. The first one is The Language of Fanaticism, Cultish. Take a gander at this goose, my friends. Also, it was blurbed by Molly Ringwald of John Hughes fame. This is just such a good cover. I've had it for, I don't know, like maybe a month now, maybe a little over a month. And I remember thinking, holy smokes, what an incredible cover. It says, what makes cults so intriguing and frightening? What makes them powerful? The reason so many of us binge Manson documentaries by the dozen and fall down rabbit holes researching suburban moms gone QAnon is that we're looking for a satisfying explanation for what causes people to join, and more important, stay in extreme groups. We secretly want to know, could it happen to me? Amanda Montell's argument is that, on some level, it already has. So my understanding is that this explores the like kind of cultish mindsets of multiple things, like not just literal cults, but like I just saw the word soul cycle on here. And probably, yep, I'm seeing Uber, Lyft, what? So it looks more like a social commentary on like what it means to feel special among a group of fans and being a part of something and what that does to our brain. In any case, I think it sounds excellent, and again, I love the cover. So thank you so much to the author for sending this to me. I truly can't wait to read this, and I think it's actually going to be a book that I recommend to my professor, just to sprinkle in the fact that I'm in school again. All right. Again, I told you all that there was going to be 2 great covers in a row, and actually a third. I didn't realize the next book after this one that I'm going to talk about, but they're all great covers. This one is one I've had my eye on for a long time, and it is Girls of a Certain Age Stories. It's a collection of stories, and again, I'm going to say the word, the cover. The cover just looks great. If you've read this one, please let me know what your favorite story was. I'm gonna do something a little sneaky. I'm gonna look at the names of all the stories and I'm gonna guess what my favorite one's gonna be. I think it's gonna be Human Bonding, page 160. And once I read it, I'll let you know if I was right. You know what? I'm even gonna leave a note for myself. Here we go, ready? I'm gonna go to page 180. That's not the page number. Hi. Okay. That's not the right page number. We're gonna look at it. Human Bonding is 160, my friends, not 180. You should have told me. Human Bonding, ready? I'm leaving a note that says, you think you're going to love this one. And we'll see. Once I read this, we'll see if I actually do. There we go. Thank you so much to the person that sent this to my P.O. box. I am so appreciative. Oh my god, and it's yellow underneath. Amazing. Thank you so much. Love you. On to the next. All right, this next book is the coolest book I've ever received in the mail before, and it's from the author Nisha Sharma. She sent me her most recent romance, and that is Radha and Jai's Recipe for Romance. But look, it came in this super cool package. Oh my god! So let me just show you the book first off. I did read the synopsis for this one, and it seems to be a romance around dancing. So I am thrilled. I'm so excited for this. I'm gonna be so excited to hear or to like read conversations around music and dancing and dance moves and the proximity of bodies, perhaps. I think it's gonna be wonderful. But then it also came with cookies. Woo! And a mug! And a mug with a recipe on the side. So this is super cool. I'm so appreciative. So thank you so much to the author for sending this to me. And as I said, my friends, I am very much into romance right now. And so I'm very, very excited to get to this one. All right, and then the last two books are two books for school. This semester I am TAing for a vampire class, so I have two books that deals with vampires. The first book, are we surprised? We're not. It's Dracula by Bram Stoker. I have been wanting to read this for years and still haven't, so now I need to be a good TA. And so this will be being read, I believe it's the October book for this class. So I'm excited. I had to get the Norton Critical Edition, so I already had some cool editions, but this professor is very particular about this specific book. All the other readings are all online, but she was like, if you get this book, it needs to be this edition. So, yeah, I don't know why I'm telling you that. I guess maybe because I've mentioned that I have Dracula already, so getting this copy seems silly, but there was a reason. And then this wasn't required, but as the TA, I felt like I should get it because it was on the syllabus, and that is the Deluxe Transitive Vampire, the ultimate handbook of grammar for the innocent, the eager, and the doomed. Look at this. I just opened up the first page and we've got a woman being attacked by a bat. So, wow. Wowzers. Looks like a bunch of poems, to be honest with you. But in any case, I'm excited for this class. I'm excited to TA again. It's with my favorite professor, so it'll be an exciting time. But that is, oh my god, wait, look at this. It's two ladies boxing. Incredible. It's also funny because this price tag on the back says $3.99. I'll tell you, I paid more for it than that, okay? Thanks for scamming me. Anyway, that's the book haul, my friends. I hope you had a splendid time. Let me know, well, what you've purchased recently. And let me know what medium you purchased it in. Was it a physical book? Was it a used book? Was it a audiobook or an ebook? Let me know. I'd love to know. And let me know if your semester has started and how it's going. Mine has started, and, well, the first week is always fine. It's after that we start to have problems. Yeah, all right, great. Anyway, hope you all are having a lovely day, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye!